All right, welcome back to another episode of the Practical Youth Ministry Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Eric with a K, along with my friend Eric without a K.
C
That's
is where
right.
it's at.
C.
Yeah.
And Eric, today we're going to talk a little bit about parent involvement, connection, some mission stuff. Super excited about that. So we're going to kind of hit two topics. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself and then our connection together.
Yeah, so I'm Eric Groezinger. I've been a youth pastor been involved in student ministry for over 25 years, both as a volunteer for the first 7 or 8, and then for about the last 17, 18 years full-time in 2 different churches, both in Illinois and the Chicago area. And now I'm serving as the pastor of student ministries at a church in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which is not Chicago.
It's not Chicago.
Illinois, but Iowa's a great spot. So, I've been doing that. Eric, we've been connected for 10, 12, 13 years, something like that.
Probably even more.
Could be more than that. We connected over the Simply Youth Ministry Conference that we were both a part of in the Trenches team, planning, leading that, and just some great connections and ministry there. But you've also ministered to me very personally in our family, and that's a whole nother story. But so there's a lot of levels there of connection, and appreciation, and admiration I have for you.
Wow, that's very nice. So you just say, Eric. So let's jump into the first portion about the parent piece.
Yep. Yeah. So not just parents, but I would expand that to our entire church.
Yeah.
I'm passionate in wanting to see our student ministry connect with our larger church, right? And I feel like a lot of times, regardless of the church size you have, you can be tempted as a student pastor or any other ministry leader to kind of silo yourself or section off your ministry from the rest of the church and not have any crossover. And I've just been counseled and mentored in a way to really challenge that mentality and re-explore what it would look like to have more of an intergenerational connection to our students. And so one way that we do that at our church, when we do our high school mission trips every summer, we have done this thing that we call pick and pray. And so our students who are signed up for our mission trips, I have them fill out, go to a website, a Google form, whatever it is, and they can submit a little brief overview of who they are as a student and the trip they're attending and maybe what they're wanting to get out of it, but then a few specific prayer requests that they want to have, and then a few of their favorite snacks. And so then what I do is I then compile that into a short little postcard with a photo of the student, and I hang it on a board in our church lobby on a clipboard or with clothespins, and I have some signage, and we promote this pretty heavily in our church, then where our adults can come out and they can pick a postcard of a student that they want to commit to pray for, beginning immediately throughout the course of the trip. And they see a picture, they see a little bio of that student, and then specifically their areas of prayer, and also some fun snacks. So the expectation is then that adult is praying, so they can put it in their Bible or hang it on their fridge, or their whole family can kind of adopt that student for the trip. But then they are also agreeing to bringing and returning a small little fun treat bag for that student, which obviously, who does not love treats as you go on a missions trip? And a lot of times those packages will come back with a really encouraging note for the student from that adult. Sometimes they get journals with verses in them specifically for each day, or envelopes with a note that they can open. So it's a really powerful thing for our students, I think, to see our church family caring for them. And then I encourage our students to circle back and to follow up as well with that individual. And just that connection, the prayer connection, I think is an easy entry point for any adult in our church to jump in on. We've actually had other students pray for students, or elementary age kids will pray for an older high schooler that they look up to. So it's just been a really cool dynamic. So pick and pray, and it's been fun. We've been doing it for years. Our students look forward to it. Maybe more for the snacks, but our adults love it because it's a chance for them to connect with our students in that way.
I love that idea. That's so I've done for years something similar, but not to the level you're doing, where I put the name of every student on a piece of paper, and then I give a card, and we hand it out to staff, and I ask them to commit to pray for them and then the right note of encouragement. But adding the snacks and inviting the congregation is awesome.
Yeah, and depending on the size of your church, we've actually allowed 2 cards for every student to go out, which again, it just multiplies the prayer effort and it engages more adults.
Wow.
And so it's a fun way to kind of connect our students with our adults, which is neat.
Super. That's a fantastic idea, something every one of us could put into use right away. Okay, next topic.
Yeah, so kind of on a related note to mission trips, another big value of mine, besides an intergenerational approach, is intentionality. And mission trips are great for intentional service, for intentional outreach, for intentional discipleship growth, but also intentional relationships within the team. And a lot of times I've been on trips where, you have little groups of students who like to kind of pull off, or they're going to jump into the van first and not leave any room for anybody else, or kind of do whatever. And so what we have done over the last couple of years is develop a system where we do van assignments to help break up some of that, but to be intentional with our students. But instead of telling our students we're doing van assignments and reading off the list of the names of who's in which van, we've created, again, little cards with a student's photo and a really fun background that might reflect the area that we're going to go serve in, and with little icons or stickers all around that card. And there's a code to the stickers. And everyone has different stickers on their card. It's almost kind of like the spotted game. If you ever played that spotted game where there's only one match between 2 cards, similar concepts. We actually call it the spotted cards. And so behind the scenes, we have a whole grid of our students in all of these different van seat combinations. And so we might have the sticks, say if we're going to I don't know, let's say we're going out to the East Coast, right, to do some beach work or some low income. So maybe we'll have a picture of a beach, but then we'll have little beach items on the card. And so we'll say the umbrellas, if you have an umbrella on your card, and there are 6 of our students that do, you're in this van, but you are also going to be combined with the beach balls. So if you have a beach ball on your card, which are 6 other students, the umbrellas and the beach balls are in van number 1, and the crabs and the sand pails are in van number 2. And they're all completely scrambled. And so the students don't know who's and where.
Yeah.
And they also don't know what combination that we're going to call out. And we just call it out differently every day.
That's great.
So it's kind of a secretive thing, but at the same time, they're excited about it. They see their card, and they see all these fun icons or stickers, and they know what it's for. And so we call it out every morning before we leave the house to go to wherever we're going, and then we scramble them all up, and so. But what it does, it prevents some of that. I always want to be with my best friend,
right?
And it forces them in a fun way to engage with the team. We also don't really allow phones and electronic stuff, so what we do during that van time is intentional to then build into connecting with one another throughout the day, which provides more of that group unity and overall benefit of the team.
Yeah. Wow.
So kind of complicated to set it up, but it's really fun, and it's really, I could have a picture of it, but it's kind of neat to do.
I love that idea. So Eric, you have created all this stuff into like a PDF, or it's a Canva file, but
right. Yep.
We would like to, I asked you, you said yes.
Yeah.
To give that to you, if you would like a copy, both the
pick and
pray and
the
spotted cards, so that you can actually use that for your next event, your next trip. That is such a great idea. It's so fun.
Yeah,
so fun.
Worked out
well. So if you want to click in the description below and that link there, we'll get you that for free, and would love to hear about when you actually use that and how it went. So Eric, thank you so much for hanging with me today. I really appreciate it. And we will be back next Tuesday, every Tuesday at noon, with another episode of the Practical Youth Ministry Tips podcast. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.
See ya.